So you have your contracts in place, right?
Hmm.
You have your relationships with your vendors or with your clients. And
Yeah.
then you have your website, you have a privacy policy, you're pretty solid. But then you're like, okay, I'm noticing like I'm having trouble getting people to pay me on time, or I'm having vendors flake on me. And it's like you have those little issues and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, but how can I make this better and just like
Yeah.
make my business tighter and not have to deal with these issues on a daily basis.
So it's almost like it's not when a huge issue comes up, which is certainly obviously need lawyers. Like that's what I think about. I'm like, oh, you bring in an attorney or a lawyer when like I get sued or you want to sue, like if that,
Right.
but it is almost these little cracks that you start seeing that you're like almost like processes that you could tighten up ahead of time or something. And that's what like is one of the areas that someone like you is really helpful with is like, to your point, vendors are paying late or whatever it may be. Is that some of the main things that like you think that businesses
Yeah, so like
come to?
it's gonna vary business by business, right? Like the best way for me to get in there is to one understand how you're making money, right? Like if I can understand how you're making money, then I can assess where your risks might be.
Yeah.
So yeah, but a lot of issues that I see is that they put together a contract and a lot of times it's the other party's standard form contract. So there's a
Hmm.
lot of one-sided a language in there that you don't even realize. You're just like, "Yeah, like, I like these people. We have, like, a good couple dinners together. Business relationship is great." And that's how it always goes. It's great until it's not. Like, someone doesn't hold up their end of the deal, and then you try to go get them to enforce it, and you realize you have no legs to stand on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the business owner, let's paint a picture. So um maybe they're just starting out, maybe they have a couple employees,
Mhm.
they have vendors and like probably a standard contract. Let's talk about like a service provider that probably has a standard contract that brings somebody in. So whether they're a consultant or maybe like a designer of some sort, like they have like
Yeah.
standard processes. What are some of the things they should think about now, maybe that you've seen like, oh, you waited too long? Is it and I'm not gonna I shouldn't be leading, but one of the things that I think I see is this, to your point, tracks that are maybe AI or you just get it, like
Yeah.
online somewhere, but I know that was one of them. But, like, what are some of the things that maybe they should think about before it becomes a problem at that stage in business?
Yeah, so one easy quick tip is look at your payment terms, right? Like if you find like someone you're not sure if they're going to pay you, they're a risk, maybe get on prepayment. Like have them pay you before you give the service. That would be
Yeah,
great. Or do a deposit. We see that a lot. Another one is cancellation terms or are you terminating the contract? You sometimes you want to be able to get out of a relationship very quickly and easily.
yeah,
Some companies are sneaky and they try to make you pay to leave a contract, which is like a huge red flag.
yeah,
And you want to be able to leave without having to stay in for like another 60 days. Sometimes they say you can cancel, but you have to wait 60 days to actually leave. That also
yeah,
should give you some pause because you're just
yeah,
wasting 2 months of money right there.
yeah.
So those are like two areas I would really focus on first.
I love that you're speaking my language because a lot of those come to cash flow, which is like
Yeah.
exactly what small businesses, that's one of the, I mean, the biggest thing besides not paying yourself, which comes down to cash flow too, but is unpredictable cash flow, also resulting in negative cash flow. And so,
Hmm.
to your point, what it's exactly what you're talking to is like some of those things that you can think about ahead of time, which is slow payment terms or clients that are not paying you or et cetera, et cetera. So, looking at that, and I love how you kind of look at the risk around that. So before it's even a problem, but you'd be a great resource to just say, let me review this ahead of
Right.
time. Is there any wiggle room? Like I'm just thinking about me as a like kind of consultant that comes in, like a lot of the software stuff, like stuff that I am purchasing, it's like with these big companies that it's like a standard. Like,
Mm.
is this really, are those pretty locked in? And we're talking about like, okay, if you bring on a client one on one, like your own personal, like how much wiggle room is there or risk, I guess, with some of these, like as you're in that phase looking at contracts that are maybe, I would say more standard, but I don't know if they're more standard or not.
Yeah, I mean, there's always wiggle room, right? Like people will always, at least what I've found, that the big companies will always say, like, here's a contract you have to sign or we're not going to do business. That is always like not true, right? That's kind of like
Yeah.
them trying to bully in the little guys. There's always room for negotiation. You have to remember it's a negotiation, like both sides are not going to feel happy with the
Yeah.
outcome, but I wouldn't ever just like take it or leave it. Because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, they have come to you and they do want your business, right? So they do want you as a business partner and you do provide some value. So you should remember that, like stick up for yourself and Don't be afraid to do the red line and edit it and go for everything that you want, and then maybe you'll get 90% of that, but it's better than 0.
I love that. Hey there! If this episode sparks something for you, I'd really love to know. Shoot me an email or leave me a comment on the episode. Those messages really do mean more to me than you realize. And if you're craving more clarity in your business or your career, you can explore ways to work together at www.scalewithclarity.com. You guys, thanks so much for taking the time to listen to the episode. I always love recording these and sharing them with you, and looking forward to seeing you on the next episode of Scale with Clarity.